Um, this is actually, and I had forgotten it's coming out. The final season of the 100. Now I know you watched a couple seasons of that, John. I'm not sure if you watched all of them.
I got tired of it.
Yeah, it comes out. It debuts May the 20th here, stateside. It was a really good show the first 5 seasons, but it lost me last year. I watched it. It's one of those shows that you watch it just because you want to watch it to the end. Well, that's definitely this. I honestly don't remember a lot of the last season, which kind of sucks because at one point in time it was a really, really intense, well acted show. I'm happy that we're getting new material at this point in time. That's a great thing because Billions actually premieres this Sunday also, and those are two shows that I'm thinking it's great that we're able to get new content now, especially at this point in time. So it starts May 27th. It's the last season. They had talked about a reboot. Jesus Christ. My dog's going nuts upstairs. Yeah, my dog's going nuts upstairs. Like, really.
I didn't know if it was for Paul, because Paul has a dog. So.
Yeah, no, that's not mine. No.
Yeah.
I'll wait for my Pussy to come in here soon in a little bit.
We've got a neighborhood cat, and she'll stick her ass in the window and just say, hey guys, and the dogs will go nuts. So that may happen. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it just because I'm a completionist when it comes to series like that, and hopefully it'll get a little better. They had talked about starting a new series that was spinning off it, but I haven't heard anything about it since about a year. So maybe they've decided to look at the ratings and put it in the can and not do it. So, but if you're into the 100, the final season, May 20th.
It just to me went towards the end when they got separated after the everything got wiped out and they're down in a cave, and then they got into cage fighting.
Yeah.
Who would survive, who would die. I said, it's okay. I've had enough, Yeah. And then the spaceship showed up, and
they went off planet. I mean, it really, to me, to quote the old Happy Days thing, it really jumped the shark when they left Earth.
Yeah.
Like it was just okay. And then it's funny. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. See, this is why you can't do audio reading for books.
Yeah, true enough, eh? I don't know what the fuck's going on up there, but they sing in unison.
Okay, now.
Shut up! I don't have to put background music in.
No, it's funny. I think I might have mentioned before that I've never seen the 100. I remember when it first started, because I saw the trailers for it, and I think it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I thought that looks like something that I'd like. The premise of the show looks like something that I'd like, and I just never got around to watching it. Yeah. Every time a new season started, as it progressed, and it got to the point where even without watching the show, but having a passing interest in sort of being aware of it and thinking, I should be watching this, it got to the point where they were advertising the new seasons where I thought, I don't want to watch this. What it's become, I have no interest in. This has started to get away from the original premise of the show to the point where I have no interest. So knowing where it goes, I thought, there's no point in going back to the start.
Yeah, don't bother, man. He'll be disappointed.
No, so it's really weird. So it's always been on my radar without actually having watched it, but now it's at the point where it's like, that's not a show that I want to watch. So I'm not even going to bother starting it.
Fantastic, but it fell apart last season.
I really enjoyed it. It was one of the shows I watched every time it came on. Found it either by legal or unlegal means to watch.
Yeah.
But after that one point when the scene that pops into my head is when the young actress who became like a leader in the group, who's sitting on top of a big fucking throne saying that kind of like thumbs up, thumbs down board bullshit. And I said, you're hot, you're fit, but no, click.
She's also crazy as fuck. She's been I know who you're talking about. She's been in and out of jail, actually. She's had some really real domestic issues in the last 3 or 4 years, so she's had her troubles.
She must be really integral to the show if they're still keeping her in high profile position.
Yes, she is. She was one of the originals, and she's got a big following online also.
He's one and when I stopped, part of her storyline was part of there's my pussy coming in now. And then so she was part of the main part of the story when I left. So yeah, I can see her still staying on.
You know who actually started in that show, Paul? Fear the Walking Dead. The I can't remember the character's name. She's got the long brown hair, and she was the daughter of you know who I'm speaking about?
I do. Alicia.
Yeah, she was actually in the 100. She was in 2 seasons of it. So yeah, it's got some pedigree as far as actors, but and that's when it was good too. The second, third season, I think she was in.
Right.
So yeah.
No, partway through that conversation, though, you mentioned Billions, and it reminded me, you mentioned Billions on the last show as well, which I started listening to, but not finished yet. I can't remember whether we've had a real discussion about that at any point, but I'm glad it's coming back. That had just dropped off my radar. I knew they were doing another season, certainly because of the way it ended last time, but I'd just completely lost track of it. I didn't realise it was coming back so soon. Now, that's shown on Sky, one of the Sky, it's usually shown on Sky Atlantic, I think. So that'll probably be about the same time, within a couple of days or within a week of it being shown for you. It should end up over here as well. So that's good news for me as well. That's a fantastic show. So tremendous cast in that. That's one of those shows which is sort of movie quality. Where everything about it is the highest quality that you'll see on television.
Same with Homeland, and that's how they use the show here. Homeland, the season of Homeland ends, and the next week they bring in Billions. But yeah, that's one thing about Showtime. They have movie quality series, and I kind of hope that as these series wind down, that they think to themselves, "Hey, wait a minute, we have streaming platforms now. Let's do movies. Let's do like a 2-hour episode movie." I think the potential's there, definitely.
Oh, you absolutely could. Yeah, you absolutely could. I mean, they're not long seasons, are they? I think Billions is probably only about 10 episodes, is it? 12 14 at the most.
Yeah, Homeland's 10, and it was I think it's 10 episodes. That
sounds right. That sounds right. So I mean, that's still, barring like the commercials, that's still sort of like 8 to 9 hours worth of content in a season. Yeah. So you could easily make movies, but when you're making a 10 episode run, you can tell so much more of a story, can't you? You've got that freedom to really sort of develop your characters and develop the story somewhat. Yeah. The only danger is just taking it too far and just taking too long to get there. There's the problem with the CW shows. 20, 22, 23, 24 episodes. It's like, you don't need all those episodes.
I'd be okay with even 3 episodes or 4 episodes if they wanted to do like not even a movie, maybe even do like a mini series of 3 to 4 episodes. But I mean, there's so much like Homeland. It's one of those series, and again, without saying too much about the finale, everyone seemed happy with it, and that's a rarity when it comes to network TV.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you can please most people, you've done it right. Because you'll never please everybody.
No.
Look at the ending of Game of Thrones. They shit the bed. There was only a small number of people were happy with that ending. And for a show that was going on for so long, that pulled in so many viewers, to shit the bed, to right at the very last hurdle, it's like, that's a tragedy.
Yeah. Well, they had signed on for Star Wars. The showrunners had signed on for a Star Wars movie, and unless I remember incorrectly, they're no longer doing that movie that they had signed on for.
No,
which is just insane, because that had to be weighing in the back of their mind. Hey, you know what? We've got Star Wars. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think they were signed on for a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were signed on to make a trilogy, but I think it was about the time that was it Ryan Johnson with the Last Jedi. I think it's about the time that's not so much crashed and burned. I think there's probably about an even split of people who like it and people who hate it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a complete disaster, but it was so controversial that they reined in all their other projects.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, the guys who were doing Game of Thrones, it's just like, sorry, we're not. We're not throwing all this money at Star Wars, because Solo tanked because of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a decent film. to be quite honest with you. It gets a lot of criticism, but I actually thought it was a decent film. I
thought
enjoyed
it was great.
Yeah. So I really think it's all this Ryan Johnson controversy that's, it was like a people lashing out, a reflex. But yeah, I'm going too far off point. Yeah, they lost the trilogy because of that, and they tanked Game of Thrones because of it for the paycheck, which they're never going to get.
Yeah,
so,
well, I mean, it's
wins.
amazing. You can tell when they went off book. I mean, as far as George R. R. Martin's stuff, you can tell when those writers started making things up as they went along, even if they had points. And it's amazing. It's one of those things that even as they try and get into these new series, I would still love to see that episode they shot with Naomi Watts. There is a whole episode of Game of Thrones out there that they shot for that trailer and then just completely cut it.
You talking about the pilot episode for that new series that she shot?
Yeah, she was the pilot episode.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
It's amazing that hasn't leaked. It just baffles me that it hasn't leaked.
It will eventually.
Yeah, so. But I mean, they're for the writing for that. I mean, I don't know how they're ever gonna match the source material that they began with. But it's still 2 or 3 years away, and they needed to do that. When they were talking about coming out, if that had been successful, it would have been out in 2021, 22. They need to let it sit for 4 or 5 years. Game of Thrones was, for the most part, too good of a show, and it's too clear in people's memories that they are going to compare it to whatever else comes next, and they're just not going to be able to stand up to it. So